Paul, thanks for allowing me the first look at your new restaurant.
You're more than welcome. You are the first viewing of a half-finished restaurant.
Yeah. You're supposed to be opening in 2 weeks' time, right?
Yes, we are.
It looks, I wouldn't have a huge amount of knowledge about restaurant openings,
Yeah.
but for me this looks like a building site, right? Not a restaurant.
You want to see it yesterday?
Yeah.
I would say realistically we're a week behind. Yeah, that it'll be 3 weeks will be a soft opening and invited guests. As you look around here, it is a building site. Nothing is finished. That's been one of the frustrating elements with it, that there seems to be a general consensus now, if 90% of a job is done, it's finished. And it's getting people back actually to finish the jobs they started.
Yeah.
So that's slightly infuriating, that bit of it. On the other side of it, if we're a week late opening, it's not the end. Do you know what? It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I would rather that we were ready to open and open properly.
Yeah.
And over the course of a 20-year lease,
Okay.
1 week
Yeah.
is not. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
I would prefer to be open.
Yeah. You know what? I have a million things to ask you about the restaurant, and that's really what I want to talk to you about. But let's just start with your own career, right?
Yeah.
Because you've worked in like Chapter 1, head chef in Chapter 1 for years.
Yeah.
Arguably the best restaurant in the country, one of the most famous restaurants in this country anyways. If you were to sum up Ross Lewis and his why he's so as good as he is, what would it be?
Attention to detail.
Okay.
Attention to detail. Like he goes into levels of things, and we need to understand it's not just about food. It's the forward planning. It's looking at where am I going next year? Where am I going in 3 years' time?
Right.
And where do I want to be in 5 years' time? Okay, he doesn't stop. He's relentless. Okay, absolutely relentless. Even now, anytime we walk into Chapter 1, we've been in and out with him a few times over the last few months because he's been a great help with advice on opening here. Yeah. Okay, there's nobody better to get advice from. Okay. Every time you go in, something else is tweaked, something else is changed. Okay, he's 27 years in business. Okay, there's been a phenomenal amount of money spent in the place. He doesn't stop. Yeah. Okay, it's always something, and it can be on food. He gets the kitchen running the way that he wants. It's on something else. He will tweak the dishes in the kitchen. He will tweak how things are done. He's changed his opening hours. Okay, and that's about how his business adapts going into the future. Yeah. Okay, that's the best thing I can say about him is that he approaches running a restaurant from a slightly different point of view to other people I've would have worked with. Okay. It's not full-on chef mode and that everything is designed around the kitchen and I'm an artist. Yeah, it's not. It's about the experience a customer has from the first contact that they make. Okay, whether it be on the telephone or whether it's actually arriving at the front door. Yeah. That's all. It's thought through in such a frightening way that it becomes hard to deal with. Yeah. Okay, it actually becomes hard to deal with.
Is he a pain in the arse to work for?
Yes, he is. He's a bollocks. Yeah, I love him. Yeah. But he is. He's incredibly demanding. Okay, incredibly demanding. And people see Ross, and if you sit and you talk to Ross, you just come away with this. Geez, he's lovely, isn't he? Yeah. And he is lovely. But don't forget, behind that is a businessman. Okay, and a very bright businessman at that. Okay, but yes, and he'd probably say it himself, he's incredibly demanding to work for because he always wants the next step. Yeah. And do you know what? For any cook to work with somebody like that is such a bonus. It really, really is, because you start to learn so quickly, and I think it takes the edges off of what you perceive the industry to be to what the reality of the industry is. Okay, yes, he's difficult to work with, but not from a point of view of being unreasonable, not from a point of view of being of being an arsehole. Yeah. It's because he is so demanding. Because Ross will walk around the place. Ross never sees what's right. Okay, Ross sees everything that's wrong. And I'll be honest with you, for 99% of the customers and the staff coming in and out of the place, they don't see it. Yeah. They don't see it. Yeah. What I do know is I'm now cursed with that affliction. Yeah, and as I walk around here and people go, that's lovely, and I walk around and I go, that's wrong, that's not right, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. Nobody notices. Okay. Yeah.
Right. So we're now 2 weeks out from opening up your own restaurant. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Is the worry that people will look at this as chapter 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I can't avoid that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what we opened. It's going to be called chapter 2. Yeah. I don't look. That doesn't. In some ways, I take that as a compliment.
Okay.
In other ways, yeah. Does it worry me? Not anymore. Do you know what? Not anymore. I've kind of got to the stage where I just go. People are going to say it anyway. All right. We look around when this place is finished. There will be elements of chapter 1 in here.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you come in, when the place is finished, there's a reason why I stayed so long in chapter 1. Okay. It was because I liked the place. I believed in the place. And the style that it is, okay, and even the look of it reflects me as well. Okay, so I can't, I can't help what I like in life and the styles that I like and things that I like. Yeah. So yes, we are going to be. It's going to be chapter 2. I can see the first reviews. Yeah. Chapter 2 in North Dublin. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? Who cares? Yeah. What will happen here and over a course of time is that it will find its own identity. Yeah. People have to have something to hold on to and explain what it is. Yeah. Okay, and we get it here all the time. Oh, he worked in chapter 1, didn't he? Yeah. Oh, it'll be great then, won't it? Yeah. No, it might not be great. Yeah. I've known lots of chefs that have worked in really good places, but with poor restaurants. Yeah. So the chapter 1, do you know what? At this stage, I embrace it because it actually gives us a foothold and it gives people something to grasp onto to say, all right, okay, we can equate with that. Are we going to be chapter 2? No. We'll have a little bit of fun with some of the food from chapter 1, but done in a very different way.
Go on. Let's get into the food. I'll be honest. I can't even. I'm looking at this place. I'm trying to picture the food. So tell me what the food's going to be like.
Well, where we're going food-wise is the one thing here was from growing up in the area. Yeah. Okay, was the connection with. You're having a laugh, aren't you? How you?
Who's that?
Hi, Bo. How's it going?
How's your one?
Yeah. How'd you get in here? There's no dogs allowed in here now with carpet, yeah? That's the puppy.
He's a puppy, is he?
Oh, she is, the other fella now is that size.
I fucking love dogs.
You're a rescue puppy, aren't you? Food. Yeah, look, I suppose because I grew up in an area, I grew up here, I never really appreciated it, okay, until I moved away, and I suppose I started to see produce coming in from all around the world in really good restaurants. You kind of go, geez, I grew up with that. What am I? Oh yeah, that was all there on my doorstep. And I suppose even in chapter 1, there was, because it was Irish food based, it kind of it hit a nerve with me. Okay, the principle and the core basis of here is that it's smaller local producers. Okay, and that the idea was that we took from up as far as Drogheda, down as far as Holt, and we encompassed that kind of semicircle of Fingal. Yeah. That was because I kind of got frustrated over the last few years, and I kind of thought that the growers out here kind of got forgotten. Yeah. And there are a few guys in the city centre that are using them, but everything was about you want to see West Cork, the produce is amazing. You kind of got who do you think has been feeding the country for the last 80 years? It's all been done out here. Right. So we're very, very much produce driven. When it comes to that, okay, out here there's great shellfish. In certain ways, we're limited on the fish. What you will see is there's a lot of monkfish, there's a lot of black sole cod, okay, and huge amounts of vegetables, and good bits of fruit. So what's the? We are driven. We are driven. Where we're going here is we have decided we had different ideas of coming in here originally. We've been 3 years trying to get in here. Okay, so it would have been a very different idea originally. Yeah. We lost 30% of the kitchen because of legal stuff, and then we had to rethink what we were going to do. Right. So where we've gone with it now, because of space, we've gone into a set menu. Okay, so we're on to a 5-course set menu. So it's breads, 2 snacks, a wet snack which will be mostly vegetarian. I'm interested in fruit juices, herb juices, just things like that, little cleansers at the start. We're going to be, as we've sat down to write menus, I've kind of found that it's highly vegetarian. Really? Yeah. People are laughing at me going, what? So what we've decided to do is the first 2 courses are vegetarian. At times, the second course may have a little meat supplement on it.
Yeah.
As we go into the third course, we are shellfish. Okay, there's just a wealth of stuff around here, from lobsters, crab, razor clams.
Yeah.
We can go to Carlingford. We can take oysters.
Yeah.
And what it has done is it's allowed us to be able to use certain produce because we're cutting out middlemen. Okay, so we go to Lochshinny for lobster. We go to Lochshinny for razor clams. We can go up the coast into Drogheda for more crab. Okay, but we're actually buying directly from people.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's allowed us to be able to use probably other items that can't fit on a €55 menu.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, I kind of bottled it a little bit because what I was going that it was just going to be purely seafood and vegetable. Okay.
Yeah.
So as opening got closer, I bottled it. Yeah, and I kind of went, Jesus, I have to have a meat on here. Because as we were starting to look at the meat situation around here, okay, we can go to Lambay Island, we can pick up some beef, we can pick up, there's a small amount of lamb, we can go to Donabate, we can pick up Dexter beef, we can go up into Louth and we can find rare breed pork.
Right.
But we were a little bit limited in some ways as well, okay? And then I kind of sat down and thought, well, I don't want to get into this, that it's just from this area. I don't want to limit that.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get into a situation where I was afraid to import fruit and veg. Can you imagine never using a peach again?
Yeah, I know.
Like that sent shockwaves through me. Okay, so that kind of changed as well, and we said, right, okay, we're going to look at the whole country. So we've decided to offer a choice on the main course, meat and fish. All right. As we come into it then, into desserts, we're going with 2 desserts. One will be either chocolate or fruit based. So around here, look, there's apples, and so many different varieties of apples. There are berries, small amount of plums. Okay, so you do have a choice. Now, some of these things you have to go looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other dessert will be vegetable based.
Okay.
You can
Very
kind of
modern.
well, you kind of see where we're going here. That this needs to be vegetable based here. Okay, but at the same time, I don't want to frighten people away by saying, guys, I'd never see here being fully vegetarian. It's not going to be the case. I would miss cooking meat and fish way too much. Okay, but it is highly vegetable based. But I would like to try and change maybe some of the attitudes towards vegetables. Right. Okay, and that's the interesting one for me out here.
The something that comes into my head there is I'm really interested in this. So you've mentioned already an extremely passionate chef, right, that loves food, and now you've become a businessman, right, and a restaurateur. I wonder, how is that, like, the idea of I want to put this on the menu, but I need to bring these, you know what I mean, that kind of balance there of having a successful business and just doing great food.
Yeah, man, there's sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you, there's sleepless nights and you're wondering, am I, and you like, even the pricing. Okay, we had, as we looked before Christmas, we were looking to do €48. As the VAT increase back up, we kind of go, can't do that, then we're looking at 52. And in fairness, we're very fortunate because we can go and sit and speak to people that own restaurants and own a different variety of restaurants as well. And then we get a broad spectrum of what we should be doing. So we kind of pushed the price a little bit, we pushed it to 55, okay? So getting the balance right is frightening. On the other side of it, okay, surely the point and purpose of opening your own restaurant and putting yourself through all this is to be able to cook what you want to cook.
Right,
So we've kind of decided that there won't be a compromise there, that we'll just go and do what we want to do. Okay. All we're looking for is, we don't need everybody to love us. What we need is enough people to love us that will keep us open. Okay?
So that's your market, right?
Yeah.
They're not upper class, right? But there are people that are slightly wealthier, okay?
Yes. Oh,
no doubt
about
that, right?
No doubt about it. It's a wealthy area.
Do you, like, have you done any are those people around? I wonder, like, is that the kind of research you've done, or?
We have been 3 years trying to get in here.
Right.
Okay, this isn't something that's happened overnight. Okay, it was a long period. We started 3.5 years ago here, 1 January, with Terry McCoy, who had owned the Red Bank here. we didn't feel it worked the first year. We felt that he was kind of looking for a cheap head chef to come in and continue on. That wasn't for me. The second year we tried it, we were getting closer, but there was just silly things coming up, and it was about, because we're separating two businesses here. Yeah. There's still the guest house there, but we're separating the restaurant away from that. There were silly things about using the kitchen, about dinner, bed and breakfast rates, and you just kind of going, no, enough. So we walked away again. The third year we came back, it was a little bit more professional. There was an estate agent involved. Okay, so what it has given us is a huge amount of time to spend looking at what's around the area. Yeah. Okay, and what is around the area is, it's not cheap. First of all, let's just say that it's not cheap. So we can walk down to the harbour, but we're going to pay $19 and $19.50 for a fish and chips. Yeah. Okay, it's not even fresh cod. Okay. It's not even fresh cod. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're kind of looking around it, and you know, every place you walk into here is chicken wings. Yeah. Yeah. Guy across the road does 5 different flavours. That's good. And you kind of go, holy Jesus! Like, do you know where you live? The produce around you, frozen fish, 5 flavours of chicken wings. Okay, and then we go in and out of these places, and we paid our prices, and you walk out and you go, seriously? Yeah. Seriously. So we would have spent a long time looking at pricing. Okay. Still at the same time, you're incredibly nervous that you get it right. Okay, that you don't go to a price where people consider you to be, that's ridiculous. I couldn't possibly pay that. Am I worried about charging €55? Yes, I am, hugely. But only from a point of view of actually getting people in the door. Do I think I can justify €55 and at the end of the meal you sit there and you go, Jesus, that was great. Yeah, oh man, we can't wait to come back. That was great value. Yeah. But yeah, they're the sleepless nights. Right. The sleepless nights are not about the kitchen design. They're not about the food. Yeah. Okay. Although as you get closer, yeah. You get the little thing going on.
So you mentioned 3 years in the planning here. Just give me highs and lows of the opening.
The highs and lows. Well, first of all, with that 3 years in planning, okay, we were planning to do something quite different. Okay. We were planning to do, I suppose, what we call a high-end brasserie, that style of cooking, no messing cooking. We had this idea that we would come in here, we would reuse the tables and chairs that were here, that hidden under the carpet would be a polished concrete floor from the bank. Wow, that was naive, man. Yeah. Like the first thing is, everything changed very, very quickly. Okay, because as we come in and we start to look at the furniture, and people are going, it's cheaper to buy new chairs. You're kind of going, okay. We made certain decisions here that pushed us into a certain direction. As the fire ceiling was done, we made a choice to redo the lighting, which blew the budget. Yeah. But we knew that doing it. Right. Okay, so it was about it's about building it up. As you get into it, they're all grand at the start. Okay, as you get into it a little bit more, there's infuriating things about doing this. Okay, there seems to be a general concept now with tradesmen that when a job is 90% done, it's finished. I'm a little bit odd on that. I like things, you know, I like my light switches turning off both the same way. Yeah, you know, just a little bit odd like that. And look, at the same time as well, I expect a certain finish. The infuriating, that's infuriating. Your furniture being a week late is infuriating. Through all that, okay, the broadband, that's infuriating. The phone lines, that's infuriating. The Clover system not working because the broadband isn't strong enough, that's infuriating. At the same time, you need to give yourself a little bit of a break. And when it gets like that, we go and visit a supplier. We go and look at plates. We go and look at cutlery. That's the highlights. Being able to afford everything, and because we're on a tight budget here, like a really, really tight budget. I kind of, when here is finished, I want people to come in and go, he's lying. There's no way that's all they spent. No way. The staff situation has been frustrating. Of getting people. We spent a lot of time talking to people in the city centre about coming out here to work. That got to me a little bit. Now there's a few people we had spoken to, and we had spent a lot of time. They came out a lot of times, and in the end they decided that they want to go and do something different. No issue. That's grand, yeah. And I look forward to them actually coming in here. Yeah. There was a couple now did wind me up because they had taken jobs here, and then I get a phone call 10 days later and I'm going to work somewhere else. Yeah, that didn't go down well.
Sorry, is the chef shortage, is it a real thing? Like,
is it a real thing? Yeah, it is a real thing. It has been. It's been an issue for a long time. Like this isn't something that's just happened. But when you take it and you turn around and you say, right, okay, I want you to come out of the city centre to work, I would have been no different. I would have laughed at somebody 15, 20 years ago, go, nah man, it's all happening in here. What do I want to go out there for? Yeah. Then you get people to try and come out here and they go, geez, it's very far out, isn't it? You're kind of going, it's 25 minutes in a car. Like, I don't understand your problem. I lived out here and worked in the city centre. And could still be in work at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, so that's the... It's changing.
Different generations, no?
Different generation, and I understand. Like at the same time as well. Okay, it's a little bit easier when you have a product to give to somebody. Yeah. When you're asking somebody to come in here as a building site and saying, "Oh, it's going to be lovely, man. Trust me." Well, what you don't have. Even now, as we walk around the place, you're only getting a tease of what's possible here. Yeah. The one thing that this place does have is incredible potential. Yeah. It's got amazing potential. Yeah. Now. We've been quite lucky in a certain degree as well because we've found people locally, okay? We found one guy I'd worked with before, I didn't even know he was living in Skerries now, okay? And so he was on board and that was great. And all of a sudden you're starting to go, okay, this is better now. Yeah. We got the other 2 people for the kitchen, okay? And then you kind of go, all right, okay, lovely. The restaurant manager, just back from Australia, from running a resort. Yeah. We landed on our feet. It was just pure luck and timing. Yeah. That was all. Yeah. Another 2 people with experience, the same thing. And then we've had to bulk out with younger people. Okay, so here we're quite fortunate that there's a lot of young people, highly educated. We have what, 4 or 5 people that are a year out of college. Like, and these guys are doing extreme courses. Yeah, they're going to work here for a year. Yeah. And I like that. There's a vibrancy about young people. There's a want and a desire, and it rubs off on you. Like, and you know, at 40 years of age, I should be slowing down a little bit. No, man. Like, well, I want that. Well, I want them to feel like if I can't give that, how can I expect anybody to walk in here and work? Yeah. I can't. Yeah. So do you know what? Look, for all the bad stuff, in some ways, I feel we got really, really lucky as well. That we just things fell into place. Yeah. Okay. Now that's until we open and it all goes tits up. Yeah.
Right. You mentioned. You said that people are gonna, when they come in here, they're gonna say, "Geez, is that all they spent? You know, they couldn't have just spent that." Yeah. Well, what is that? No. Come here. Listen,
I'll be quite upfront about this. Right. There's no point. I'm not. We came in here, we had the idea of that the budget would be 90,000, okay? Now let me tell you, that 90,000, okay, that's everything. Which is nothing. And that's everything. That's accountants' fees, solicitors' fees, IT, kitting the place out, 90,000, okay? We blew that in the first week. Okay, all right, that was out of the order in the first week as soon as we decided to mess with the wiring. Okay, that was blown out, man. That was gone. Yeah. We are at this moment in time. When I said it, I spoke to a few people, even Ross, like 90,000. Not a hope. Okay. Nah, add another 30 or 40 onto that. Yeah. You kind of go, yeah, okay, all right. We will hit somewhere around the 105 mark.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How much of that is a lot of that borrowed?
We would have put 30,000 of our own into that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that's gone into the restaurant. You know.
As far as Sarah concerns, that's the deposit on the house. Yeah. And I've blown it on a restaurant.
You know. Wage, you're talking about all these staff, right?
Yeah.
Does that come out good?
That's just me.
Once the green is on, it's...
Yeah, more grand. No. Right, go on, sorry.
Right, just make sure the green light's on.
Yeah, we're grand.
take the rent, the wage costs, right? The
Yeah.
cost, the rate, all the rest of it
Yeah.
comes into it. Would I be right in saying that there's no money in a restaurant like this?
No, there's not. Do you know what there is? Hopefully, well, hopefully for us here, there's a good living out of it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but it's more. Look, it's not a financial thing. And anybody, if somebody said to me, I have money to spare, I'm going to invest, I'm going to open a restaurant. Are you mental? Yeah. Do you know what? It's better off sitting in your bed. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. And count it every night. Yeah. Unless you have a drive and a desire to do this. Okay. So as we look at it here, okay, and we've been very conservative with our figures as well, because there's no point. That would be the one thing I would say to people. If you're going to open a restaurant, don't do airy-fairy figures. Be really, really realistic. Right. And you know what? Be ultra conservative with it, because it can only be better. Okay, so for your spend, have it the worst it can possibly be. For your staff costs, have it as high as it possibly can be, and try and find your balance in there. But be honest with yourself from the start. Yeah. And we have been here. We will never get wealthy out of here. Okay, it's not the point of it. Right. But if it allows us to come into a place that we like to work, okay, deal with people that we like dealing with. Yeah. Okay, that's not going to happen all the time, but most of the time it is. Right. Okay, that's ultimately the reward, and hopefully that there's enough here that we can actually buy the place, because then it becomes more looking at our retirement. Right. Okay, so that there's enough money here to actually buy this building, okay, and still develop it. All we want out of this is enough to be able to do that. Yeah. And reinvest in the place, okay, and keep it going.
And just outside that front door, nice red plaque with a big.
Oh, you fecker, yeah. Oh God. By the time I'm finished, we'll never get one. Where does that come? Do you know what? I don't lie awake at night worrying about that. I don't. I just. I've kind of a funny. I've a funny thing going with Michelin at the moment, and I'm not really sure how I feel about it, to be quite honest with you. Originally here was never about Michelin stars, okay? But all of a sudden, as things have come along, and you start to walk into the place, and you start to see here now the shape that it's taken, everybody's going to us, are you going for stars, are you going for stars, are you going for stars? It was never the case. It wasn't. It was, do you know what I would like to do? Yeah. Is keep the business open. Yeah. Quite honestly, yeah. I would like to keep the business open. Yeah. Do I think we'll be a starred restaurant when we open? No, I don't think so. But I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the next 20 years of how we develop and how we move. Where we are at the start of next year, yeah, compared to where we opened. Okay. The Michelin one is a funny one for me, okay? I'm kind of, for somebody to spend 20 years obsessed by Michelin, okay, now I am confused by Michelin. Honestly confused. And I think, all right, before I go off on one and have me little rant, yeah, okay, what I would say is, I still think it's the best guide out there. Okay, that's, okay, all right. There's issues with Michelin. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, there's massive issues with Michelin. Okay, there's restaurants in Dublin, and we take something like the Greenhouse. He's 2 stars. He's 2 stars, hands down. His food is 2 stars. I've eaten in 3 stars in Europe that aren't as good as it. Nowhere near it. Okay, so what's the reluctance here to give a 2nd star? Why were they so long in giving a 4 star? I think there's places in this town over the last 10 or 15 years have been given stars that shouldn't have them. Quite simply. I think I'm confused by Michelin at the moment, okay? Because I think more than they ever were, they're pushing trends, okay? And they always did, okay? I mean, we need to remember that, okay? They always did, and if you went back into the 80s, the waiter can't take his jacket off in the summer, you know, because that's not done, and everything had to be very, very formal and very crisp. Now they've chilled on that, okay? But I think there's a level of confusion with where they are at the moment, for me, okay? On what's a star, what's not a star, what's a red M, what's not a red M, right? At the end of the day, Michelin is like a business like any other thing, okay? It's a business. Yeah. When you're being paid by governments to go into the country to do Michelin guides, I have an issue there, okay, because that's not independent, okay, first of all. I think their foray into social media is, I just find it confusing, and if you are, there's no guidelines on anything with Michelin anyway. Yeah, you don't know if you're doing right, you don't know if you're doing wrong. Yeah. I just, you know, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the whole Michelin thing. At the same time, do I think it's the better guide out there? Yeah, but I think they have, I think they have issues. And obviously we watch, like, it's quite an aggressive expansion from Michelin in the last 5 and 10 years. Like, aggressive, yeah, into the States, into the Middle East, into Asia. Right? Very, very aggressive, huge expansion. I've always struggled with the level of food here to what gets a star somewhere else. Okay, I really, really have. Like, I mean, I work for guys in England years ago that would have turned around and said of what it took them to get 1 star. Okay, to get 1 star, and they go. If I go to France, a fucking truck stop with a 1 star, basically. Yeah. So where is the balance there with that? I think if we were looking at Michelin stars, okay, I would have done this slightly differently. Okay, and stuff like the website, which goes live now in a couple of days' time, I would have done it very differently. It would have been in black and white and me standing on the harbour posing out over the gone and windswept and interesting. Yeah, I just find it's following and pushing on trend way too much. Yeah, and what's happening is all of a sudden we came through the whole old bully buzz. Okay, now we're on the Scandinavian buzz. And with any of these styles and fashions, there are some people that execute it so well, okay? And when it's done properly, it's amazing, all right? What happens after that then is the standard of replication goes down and down and down. Okay. And now we're not Scandinavian here, we're Irish terroir now, okay? Yeah. What? Oh, good Jesus. What? We're what? Irish terroir, okay. I find it just gets overkill with stuff. And they're looking for certain things in restaurants now that kind of fit into that ilk and that they can push in that direction. I think that's wrong. I think Michelin should be chef driven as opposed to them driving what they think is on trend or what's cool. Yeah. I at this stage now, I'm bored of eating herbs. I really am. I am, and I think there's a level of, at times, from some people, of pretense with it. Yeah. Okay, and oh my God, I'm an artist. Look at that, look what I've done on your plate. Oh, I need to sit down for a minute. You savor that. It's marvelous. You know, man, we're in the entertainment industry. Yeah? We are taking people, and if you stop and you think about this, somebody to get here for us might have to pay 30 quid in a taxi. Yeah. They're paying for the babysitters, okay, and they're paying for the taxi home. And that's before they've dropped a penny in this place. Yeah? We have to give them more than that here. I think we have to work harder out here than any restaurant in the city centre. Right. Yeah? And we will, but we'll work hard on value for money. We'll work hard on how they feel in this place. Yeah, that they're so comfortable they can kick the shoes off here. Yeah, that's what I want for here. So as far as the Michelin stars go, honestly, I couldn't give a flying fuck. I don't care. Here is about opening a business, doing what we want to do, and not worrying about, I wonder what Michelin think of that. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. Now, having said that, on the other side of it, like any business, a Michelin star would secure us. Okay, there's no two ways about that. Yeah, there is no two ways about that. Okay, and the increase in business, that 18 or 20% bump in business and spend would absolutely secure us here. I'm confident enough that we can start in the right way here. Okay, but that needs to be with the locals, not appeasing food journalists, not appeasing Michelin. Yeah, our first step here is to appease the locals. Okay, anybody can fill a restaurant for the first 2 months. Anybody. You actually don't even have to open a good restaurant to fill it in this country at the moment. Okay, your big test comes in 3 months' time. Are you starting to see people coming back to you? Yeah. Okay, that's the test. Are you seeing the same faces coming back? Yeah. I'm going to see Michelin maybe once or twice a year. Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ, I was in chapter 1. I didn't have a visit for 2.5 years. Yeah. 2.5 years. And they hadn't had dinner in that time.
Yeah.
It was lunch because they couldn't get in for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Yeah.
I look, there's issues there. And what I will say is, definitely not getting one now, are we?
No, maybe they are. You're lucky they don't nobody watches my
It'll be the one they'll plaster it everywhere, yeah?